Hello and welcome. We are discussing PYQs of percentages and the theme was base value based problems. We have already solved 3 problems. Let's solve next problems now. See, this is the next one, not this one. I feel this is the next. It says two candidates X and Y contested an election. 80% of the voter. This is the very important point of this second statement. It says 80% of the voters. So do you have any idea how many voters are there? So let's say total voters are equal to 100. Okay. Now 80% of the voters cast their vote. So if 100 is the total vote, then 80% of them has casted votes. So number of casted votes should be 80% of 100, which is 80. So 80 is the count of casted votes. Next, and there were no invalid votes. Fine. There was no nota. X got 56%. Now this is the important line. 56% of which value? 56% of the votes cast. So how many votes has been casted? 80 votes has been casted. So 56% of 80. 56% of 80 has been gone to whom? Has been gone to X. So if 56% of 80 has been gone to X, then the remaining, which is 44%. So 44% of 80 must have gone to Y. Now why 56% of 80? Because it is written here 56% of votes cast, and I know how many votes has been casted, 80. Now I can see over here X got 56% of 80 and Y got 44% of 80. So from here I can see 12% of 80 is the count of vote that X has more as compared to Y. So I can say in terms of percentage, X has won the election by 12% of 80. And in terms of actual number, X won by how many votes? 1440 votes. So this must be equal to 1440. It is equals to 12 upon 100 into 80, which is equals to 140. 12. Now 0 0 gone, 4 2s are 8, 4 3s are 12, 2 50. So 1 from the assumption corresponds to 150. Okay, so 1 from the assumption correspond to 150. So 100 from the assumption must correspond to 100 into 150, which is 1500. Sorry, which is 15,000. So what is the total number of voters in the voting list? 15,000. I hope guys this is clear. Kindly write it down so that we can move on to the next problem. Okay, now let's talk about next question. This question says, in adult population of a city, 40% men and 30% women are married. What is the percentage of married adult population if no man marries more than one woman and no woman marries more than one man? It means number of married men and number of married women must be same. Do you know how many men are there? No. So let's say total number of men are M. Do you know how many women are there? No. Let's say total number of women are W. Now we know how many men are married. 40% of them are married, meaningly 40 by 100 of M are married. And how many women are married? 30%. So 30% of W are married. Now they must be equal. Why? Because no man marries more than one woman and no woman marries more than one man. From here, I can see this will become 40 by 100 into M equals 30 by 100 into W. 100 gone, 0 gone. So ratio of number of men to number of women will be 3:4. So in that village, how many men are present? For every 3 men, 4 women are present. Now, so we do not know the actual count of men, but we know the ratio of total number of men to total number of women. So from here, what you can assume that total number of men are 300 or total number of women are 400. This is what we can assume because we know the ratio. Now, so what will be the count of married? We know that married men are 40% of total men. How many men are there? 300 men are there. So 40% of 300 is what? 120. So how many men are married? 120 men are married. Now let's talk about how many women are married. We know 40%, sorry, 30% women are married. We assumed 400 women. So what is 30% of 400? 30% of 400 is 120. Now, how many people are married in total? 120 men, 120 women. So 240 people are married in total. We want to find out percentage of married people out of total population. So 300 men, 400 women. What is the total population here? Total population is 700 into 100. Because we want to find out percentage of married population out of total population. And if we solve this, 0 gone, this 0 gone, so 240 upon 7. If we solve this further, it will comes out to be equal to 34, 2 by 7%. Hence, option C is the right choice. Kindly note it down. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next problem. Now, this says a student appeared in 6 papers. The maximum marks are the same for each paper. Let's say 6 papers are paper A, B, C, D, E, F. Now, what about maximum marks of every paper? It is given same. So let's say maximum marks of paper A were 100, paper B were 100, paper C were 100, paper D were 100, paper E were 100, and paper F were 100. Every paper was out of 100. His marks in these papers are in the proportion 5:6:7:8:9:10. This is the ratio given. So what we can do, we can assume that he got 5x marks in paper A, then 6x marks in paper B, 7x marks in paper C, 8x marks in paper D, 9x marks in paper E, and 10x marks in paper F. So these are the marks of that student in these 6 papers. Okay. Further, it is given overall he scored 60%. See, overall he scored 60%, meaningly his total score will be 60% of overall. Overall meaningly 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100, which is 600, which is equals to 360. So if I add the individual score of each paper, then it must equal to 360. So 5x plus 6x plus 7x plus 8x plus 9x plus 10x. If we add all these, it comes out to be equal to 5 plus 6, 11 plus 7, 18 plus 8, 26 plus 9, 35 plus 10, 45. So if you add all these, this will give you his individual score, which is 45x. His individual total score is also equal to 360. So from here, x comes out to be equal to 360 upon 45. Now, let's solve this further. 5, 9, 5, 7, 5, 2, 9, 8. So value of x comes out to be equal to 8. So now I can say in paper A, his marks should be 5x. 5x meaningly 5 into 8, which is 40. In paper B, his marks should be 6x, which is 6 into 8, 48. Similarly, in C, it should be 7x, which is 7 into 8, 56. D, 8x, 8 into 8, 64. 9 into 8, 72. 10 into 8, 80. Now, in how many paper he scored less than 60%? So see, out of 100, if his score is 40, then in subject A, he got less than 60%. Because what is 60% of 100? 60% of 100 is 60. So all those paper in which his individual score is less than 60, in those particular paper, his percentage is less than 60. So in paper A, his percentage is less than 60. In paper B, his percentage is less than 60 because over here he scored 48 out of 100. In paper C, his percentage is less than 60 because in paper C, he scored 56 out of 100. So in 3 paper, his individual score was less than 60. Hence answer is option B here.